of you guys mentioned what if kind of like Sue comes back and you're not really in a good headspace. I get those sometimes and it sucks. I'm lisping again. What the hell? I get those sometimes, but I think the most important thing is therapy. I hate to be like that person that's always saying like therapy, but it really is. A lot of the times too, I notice with me, I always was Sue, it's because I was either isolated, which isn't good, or I was around people that were not supportive, not kind, not saying the things I needed to hear, didn't care what I needed to hear. Made me feel like I wasn't enough, that I had to constantly prove myself. So if you're around those kind of people, you need to like find a way to distance yourself, or try to not, like I've had to live and deal with some, whether it was in school or at work or just at home. You have to learn to kind of like distance yourself. I remember I had to constantly tell myself, do not tell this person your personal stuff, no matter how much they make you think like they're a good person or you should trust them, because they're not. A lot of the people aren't in it for you, they're in it for themselves only, and it's a waste of time, and it can lead you to sue. And I don't want to like blame other people for it, but it happens, especially when you're already in a bad state. When you're at your lowest, people tend to like to kick you down, so you have to we have to stay away from those people. And then a therapist that works with you too, even if it's very simple therapy, it will make a change. And kind of trying to find the people you do connect with. For example, if you can't connect with anybody because you don't go out, or you can't find people in your work like that you can connect with, I would suggest trying to find a Facebook forum that you can kind of be healthy with. Sorry, there's this really expensive looking car that decides to be loud. Has anybody ever like thought how annoying that is? Like how they, not only do you have to be like, you look nice, but you also have to be loud about it. Like, why? Anyways, so I think finding a forum that's healthy for you and doesn't encourage like bad behavior or shitty, treatment would help. I remember I went out to forums that like, I think it was one where when I was going through my breakup, I joined a forum on life after heartbreak or whatever, and honestly, I already knew everything they were talking about, because I've been through this before. I've always been, my most recent relationship breakup, it didn't hurt that much because I had experienced a 6-year relationship and we were more serious, so nothing hurt as much as that one did. My 6-year relationship, my first boyfriend ever. So I already kind of knew the ropes of like breakup, and joining a forum, I ended up actually trying to like share what I knew with everybody, which I met some people that are really nice, and you make more friends. I also joined one about like coffee, because I love coffee. Maybe I should get some. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know, like I'm single right now. I've never been single this long, and honestly, like I'm enjoying it. It's really fun because I don't know, just think about all the things you've put up with and how you would never do that to yourself, and how happy you are, how at peace. Sometimes I realize that the person I always wanted to find to date was just literally what I do all the time. Like the bare minimum and a little more is what I do. So why not just be around myself? Or like making friends. Like it doesn't have to be, like seeking somebody all the time. I swear, the second you stop looking for somebody, that's when they show up. So be careful, because that doesn't mean they're like healthy, So I wouldn't rush into anything, especially, it sounds like I'm very off topic, but I'm serious. When you're vulnerable, when you feel like really like alone and stuff, that's when you need to be careful. Like right now, Sue's like around, just be careful, because it's not gonna be your state of mind all the time. I remember I thought the same thing. Like I was just like, yep, I'm always gonna feel like this. So another thing, so therapy, forums, I think, I used to think I couldn't make friends at work because everybody sucked. just couldn't connect with anybody, but you'd be surprised who could end up being like your friend. You never know, you know? You never know who you could connect with. I would suggest if you're a girl, which majority of you are, which I'm very, very happy to have, because I don't get along with guys very well, surprisingly enough. No, we're not surprised, actually. Ew, I look like the Mummy. Do you guys ever watch that movie, The Mummy? That shit scared me as a kid. But anyway, I would suggest if you're a girl and you need a friend, everybody needs a friend. Try to find a girl to be your friend, because honestly, a lot of the guys, like being friends with a guy, especially if you're straight, can get really complicated, and people start to pair you up. You know, like it doesn't matter which guy I'm friends with, any job, people start to think you're dating, and it's really annoying. It's like, why? And sometimes even that friend starts to assume that you like them just because you're friends. Whereas like if I'm friends with a girl, they never like, nobody ever says stuff like that. So it's like, and you can be closer to them. I feel like women are more emotionally intelligent because it's not bashed against as much, and because of that we got to strengthen it more and work on it. Men catch up, and that's why women are less aggressive, because like they were, you know, hated on if they showed any kind of like anger or whatever, at least with me. Like, but yeah, I would suggest finding friends, supportive ones, not the shitty kind. Distance yourself from anybody that's toxic. I would also constantly listen to positive podcasts and anything positive. Try to not listen to stuff that is very on the sadder side of things. One of the podcasts I would recommend is School of Knowledge, I think it's called. I used to listen to that all the time when I was really sad. And comedy, listening to comedy helps too, because it gets you laughing. There was this comedian that I really liked, and I totally forgot his name, because I would hear his stand-up when I felt really homesick, because I get homesick a lot, and oh my gosh, I was laughing so much, and he didn't have to swear or say sexual stuff to be funny, and that is sadly very hard to find nowadays. Like that's just really annoying that you don't have to be, you know, like a lot of comedians nowadays are really disgusting, and it's like, dude, it's not even funny at this point, it's just really awkward. But I guess to each their own. I guess try to find a way to enjoy your presence. That's what I've had to learn. Like being on your own isn't always being lonely. Sometimes it can be a peace and calm, and it almost feels like you've neglected an old friend that was always there for you. At least that's for me. And if you grow up being a people pleaser, you tend to lose your identity, like I feel like I did, and that's when you start to feel lonely, when nobody is requiring your, you know, services all the time, you to do something for them, you know, to do something for whoever and whatever group you were, because like I was always trying to offer and trying to provide for yourself and care for yourself mainly. I hope that helps, but at the end of the day, I am not a therapist. I'm honored that you would ask me this question, and I know that I've been on that boat too, and sometimes I get those feelings, those waves of like, ugh, dang, like what's the point? But I feel like the point of life is to have fun and find something that's interesting enough to invest yourself into. And sadly enough, a lot of people find stuff that are bad for them interesting, and that's what they invest themselves into. But it's like, it falls into this bad pattern. Whereas if you find something that interests you, that builds you up instead of tear you down, you're only going to go up from there. And it's going to be very hard to fall down when it's a strong structure, if that makes sense. Because I remember I heard that quote in high school, what goes up must come down, and I was like, dang, I can never go up. If I stay on the ground, I would never fall. But if what you build is sturdy, you can, you know, you can go as high as you want. And I think learning to do, just think of like, what did you wish people would do with you? Like, what do you wish everybody would stop and do? What is a perfect day to you? And that's what you're gonna do for yourself. For example, I always liked getting sushi, and I would have to wait for my family to crave it, or coffee, going shopping. I don't like going shopping on my own. I don't like shopping alone, mainly because there's a lot of people and I feel awkward just alone, you know? And one of the things about shopping I like to do is ask for whoever I'm with their opinion. And I have social anxiety, so it's like, oh shit, I look weird, I'm walking funny, and I get nervous. But if I'm with other people, I'm so distracted with what we're talking about, what I'm looking for, and what I want to ask them, that I don't really pay attention to what other people are saying and thinking. That's why if I do go shopping alone, I usually go when the store's about to close, because that way there's less people, or when it's really early. But I do get sushi. I've gotten sushi alone. It's really nice, because a lot of the times I feel like I have to, you have to ask people, and it's a lot of work for them to go with you. So it's like, it's better to just go with someone that wants to go, yourself, enjoy your peace, watch that movie you've been wanting to watch, enjoy that show, take a warm shower. Like, that's what I'm about to do. A lot of the times it's like, I don't know if you have an ed, but if you do, for me, you have to learn to kind of treat yourself, not abuse yourself, because I think having an ed is a form of self-abuse that we learn to do because we feel like we deserve to be punished, or we're not worthy enough, and somewhere along the line we thought that we could not speak of our pain, and instead we held it way too long. And I think everybody does this in their own way, whether it's overeating, like the whole binging, the purging, whatever it is that is unhealthy, substance abuse, people do it all the time. The same thing, the similarity is we don't know how to talk about our pain. For God's sakes, we can't even mention specific words on here, even if it's educational purposes or to get it off our chest, because it's deemed wrong. So that should show us all that that this leads to something really bad. I can't say Sue. If you know what Sue is, that means you've been around for a while, so that's good. Everybody else who doesn't know, I'm sorry, I can't tell you. I could write it in the comments maybe, but something smells weird around here. I promise it's not me. It smells like rotten banana or something, but it's not me, I swear. It smells like garbage, like fresh garbage. Oh my god, it smells so bad. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. What else was I gonna say? But sometimes, when I was in ed and dealing with Sue, I thought every time I'd be like, I wish I was gone. I wish I didn't exist. I wish I could just go. And sometimes I still think that now, if I'm completely honest, because I lack a lot of desire to live. It's really hard to explain. I don't want to die. I don't want the pain of dying, but I don't want the pain of living. But if you focus on something, it's all you see. So your mind picks up on what you want to focus on, it highlights it. So if you focus on what's good, what's fun, what's for now, how can you enjoy right now, little by little. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I'm sorry if it's not much help, but that's what I think right now. And I really do hope something helps. And everybody else who's listening, if you have any answers for this question, please comment your advice so we can all know what to do. And I have to speed up because this car's way too close to me. But yeah, and then we can all figure out, we all know what to do. A little bit of something, But yeah, so thanks for asking that question. I would have loved an answer when I was dealing with that too, because I was struggling really bad. Hey, go first, sir. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. more people out now. During the nighttime, there's not a lot of people. I'm so surprised how many people don't like graveyard shift. It's the best. Every time I come home, my dad's always like, "You're always up late. That must suck. Like, it sucks so bad. You're freaking suffering." I'm like, dude, I'm having like the best time of my life with this schedule. Like, yeah, I'm still struggling to sleep because of nightmares and shit, but oh my god, I hate waking up early like a normal person. Imagine that. How embarrassing. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I need to open this shit. Everyone's home except me. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next time, okay? Let me know if you have any questions. And maybe I'll know. Maybe I'll talk about it next time. Bye.